Well, I was recently accosted in a virtual manner through the comments by numerous idiots trying to defend time dilation, trying to explain to me that I do not understand time dilation and that it takes massive amounts of mass, like a planet, that can curve the alleged fabric of space-time. I don't know if these people are aware of this, but the fabric of space-time is only alleged. It is conceptual. Need I remind you that if you Google what don't we know about gravity, the number one answer is, however, if we are to be honest, we don't know what gravity is itself in any fundamental way, and that the alleged fabric of space-time is the conceptual fabric of space-time. Time is a concept. Now you see this 130-year-old Ithaca calendar clock. I will use the top portion to make a point. If this clock had a second hand and you seen it moving, would you think it was time itself making that second hand move? Or if you seen a regular clock that you plug in and the second hand advancing and moving, do you think it's time making that second hand move? Or the minute hand or hour hand move? No, it is not time doing that. It is an electrical current or batteries that make the hands on a clock move, therefore proving that time is a concept that is set to the parameters we mandate per 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, 24 hours in a day, and 365 days in a year, 30 days in a month, all set by man. It is not relative or universal. It is what we say it is. Time itself hasn't one iota of presence or substance. If it did, we could directly detect, identify, isolate, and harness time to therefore slow it down or speed it up. And we cannot do so because there is no fabric or presence or substance of time. It is a concept. Therefore, time dilation is asinine and will remain a theory as long as people want to keep it on the table, because that's the only way it can be on the table as a theory. Now, the only reason people hold fast to these lies that are masqueraded as theory is because they have been systematically dumbed down to instantaneously believe, memorize, and regurgitate everything that scientism says. And this is the only reason you hold Albert Einstein in any esteem. He was not only a plagiarist, but a liar. I just proved it. There is no such thing as time. And when you see a minute, second, or hour hand advancing on a clock or watch or digitally or analog manner, it is electricity making the hand move, be it the second, minute, or hour hand. It moves per electricity, per the mandates I just stated, 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, 24 hours in a day, 30 days in a month, 12 months in a year, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and these things are subject to what we say. There is no universal body of time. If there were, it would have presence and substance. How can you slow or speed up something that hasn't one iota of presence or substance of itself to directly detect, identify, isolate, study, and harness. This is how we prove things are real, through presence and substance. Okay? And it will remain that way until these people dumb you down more by changing the definition of presence and substance, like they love to do. They change definitions to suit their narrative, and people are too dumbed down to notice, understand, or even care. They're too busy trying to memorize and regurgitate everything they hear and instantaneously believe. Time is a concept. I've said it before and I'll say it again. It will not change. Facts are forever. There is no such thing as yesterday. There is no such thing as tomorrow. These are words. These are means that we use, like yesterday, to remember things we have done or accomplished. Therefore, we say yesterday. Tomorrow is a means to plan for things we want to do or accomplish. There is no such thing as yesterday or tomorrow. They're just words, means to remember and plan. We are stuck, we are living in the constant present. It is always the constant present, whether it's daytime or nighttime, or you're awake or asleep. It is the constant present. The constant present does not require you to acknowledge it. Whether you are awake or asleep, it is the constant present. The constant present does not entertain the appearance or departure of the sun. The constant present does not acknowledge when you go to sleep or when you wake up. It is always the constant present. We invented time to synchronize with one another from one moment to the next. And that's it. These liars and plagiarists like Einstein invented time dilation to dumb you down. You cannot slow time down or speed it up. Time dilation is a fraud. There is no such thing as time. They tell us that time slows down on a mountain. Okay, at altitude, the higher you go, these people will regurgitate for evidence and rebuttal. Satellites have programming to deal with time dilation. And that is apparently enough for you to believe in it. Just them saying, satellites have programs to deal with time dilation. No, that is ignorant. Okay? So your IQ isn't high enough to understand that if time were real, it could not do two things simultaneously, i.e., running normally at sea level while slowing down at altitude. That is ignorant. That would require multiple bodies of time. You could never walk or run at the same time. That's stupid. Ignorant. The fabric of space-time is conceptual. There is no fabric of space-time. If there were, it would possess presence and substance of itself that we could directly detect, identify, isolate, study, and harness. Time itself has no presence and substance for us to directly detect, identify, isolate, study, or harness. You would have to harness time to slow it down or speed it up. Stupid. what is the mass of anything affecting? When you say that the mass of the earth is curving something, what is it curving? The fabric of space-time. So there's two words there. You got space and time. And as far as I know, they say outer space is an infinite and expanding vacuum, an area void of air. So what exactly are they talking about? What is being curved? Something would have to be curved in order to make matter follow its curved trajectory. Do you not understand that? What is being curved in a vacuum? That's why it's conceptual, because this alleged fabric hasn't one iota of presence or substance. Therefore, if it hasn't one iota of presence or substance, how could anything follow its trajectory, a curved trajectory, to be curved itself? If you go down a slide, the presence and substance of whatever that slide is made of would have to be curved so that when you go down it, you follow a curved trajectory. That's what presence and substance is. There must be presence and substance of something being curved for other matter, rocks, ships, whatever, to follow a curved trajectory towards the center of your giant spinning ball to produce what you call gravity. Now, when you Google what don't we know about gravity, the number one answer is, however, if we are to be honest. That's when they're being honest. If we are to be honest, we don't know what gravity is itself in any fundamental way. Forgive me for swearing, but it seems like it flies right over your head. I would suggest that you jump up 6 inches and maybe it'll bump you in the head. And you could try to process that. There's a reason why they don't know what gravity is itself in any fundamental way. That's because it hasn't no presence and substance to detect, to identify, to isolate, to study or harness. There's nothing there to deal with. Okay? You've been lied to. They're lying to you. And they use it to dumb you down so that you think it's A-OK per the magic of gravity that you're standing atop, sideways, and underneath a giant spinning ball, and that walking around on a flat surface is dumb. That's how ignorant you have become. They are using these theories that have no presence and substance to dumb you down, and you don't care. You think their esteem of their freshly pressed white lab coats mean they're 20 times smarter than you. That's not true. I'm smarter than every one of them. They are liars. And if you listen to what I say and you apply a little logic, you'll understand that I am correct. There is no such thing as time. If there were, it would possess presence and substance of itself. Again and again, when you see a second hand moving on a clock or watch, it is not time doing that. It is the electricity running that clock, or the battery. Or with an antique clock, you wind springs that provide tension and are released in a controlled manner to operate the clock. Time has nothing to do with it. There is no time. Time is what we say it is. You understand? A minute is a minute because we say 60 seconds make a minute. Don't you understand that? Now, I've watched many documentaries on time dilation, and it's all the same. Mass traveling at the speed of light would slow things. Listen, nothing can travel at the speed of light. That will never occur. That cannot be demonstrated. Don't you understand that you are going way ahead of yourself with things that can't be demonstrated, and you're writing them down on a chalkboard as if they are real? That's ignorant. You cannot accept something as real until it can be demonstrated before you. You people make me sick. You have no character. You have no character, no logic, and you just want to be dumbed down. You don't have the character to face reality that you've been lied to, you've been deceived, you've been dumbed down, and you're such a coward that you'll go with the flow so you don't have to look in the mirror and be ashamed. Well, it's not your fault. Get the character to face reality and do something about it. There's no reason for you to be ashamed. What you should be ashamed about is realizing what's going on and then just continuing to go along with it. That's what you should really be ashamed about. Bunch of idiots. Wake up. I did.